everyone, I hope you are all having a wonderful day. Today is just going to be a general sketching and practice session for faces and figures, just sort of filling up a page and practicing our drawing skills. These link to these photos are going to be in the description of this video. So if you check out the description, you'll be able to see the link to each one of these images that I'm using to draw. And we're just going to get started. I think as we progress in this group, we are going to be drawing more and more detailed drawings and paintings, but right now we're going to practice our figures. And this one is just a lady standing. Well, she's actually got her head tilted. I like to try to draw the upper body and hips in this area like a shape so that I can map it out the best I can. And that's what I'm doing here. As you can see, she's got her sunglasses on. With a bit of a smile on her face. And I like her hair. She's got like this long sort of hair coming down. And this is just practicing getting the shape of her figure correct. And I'm just bringing down her arm and doing almost like a triangle for her hand right now. We'll figure that out later. And then bringing the other arm down and another sort of triangle because we could see the way her arm is. She has some jewelry on and I'm just quickly mapping that in. I'm really just, again, trying to quickly map out figures because for me personally, the faster I do it, the looser my drawing is. So that's the first lady. The second lady, and again, each woman is going to be different and we're going to color them in. The second lady, I'm going to try to bring it up and move this lady over so I can focus on it. It's hard to have the camera and the camera and the drawing together. Okay, so this woman is sipping on coffee. And again, as we progress in our drawings, we're going to do full scenes. I'm just trying to map out her arm, and I'm not trying to draw all the same size. This is just a sketching session together. And I can actually email you this sketch so you guys can have a look at it and trace it if you want. So that will be in your inbox. I will email it to you. And if you haven't signed up for my newsletter specifically for folks who are in my group, then I'll leave a link in the comment section for that. Now I'm going to map out her eyes. But we can see that this lady is drinking a coffee. I'm gonna try to get her eyebrows in there. This lady's drinking her coffee. We don't necessarily see her nose because the coffee cup is coming right even down her. Okay, and then her hand is there, see? I probably didn't do the coffee cup properly, but we're going to continue on. She's drinking the coffee. I'm being loose with it. Her other hand, now hands are super difficult, and that's why you're going to see me simply try to draw almost a triangle before I draw the fingers. And I'm just keeping it loose. And I'm not too worried about it because we're going to color it in. And we could see her arm there. Okay. And we could see her shirt. just going to put a skirt on her. She's got jeans on, but I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger. And I think it's kind of fun when you do a whole bunch of different figures, all different sizes and shapes, and then we're going to sort of just bring it together because we're just creating a scene for fun. Let's see if I can get this one in. This is going to be more of a challenging one because it's a side profile and we all know how that goes, but I have videos on side profile. So I'm drawing a circle and she's kind of looking up. So I'm trying to get her cheek is here, her eyes are kind of here, her nose is here. I see her cheek taking up a lot of the space, and then her lips are there. She's got kind of a smile, so I'm just trying to round this out. Again, we could see kind of under the chin, and she's got like the bangs happening, so I'm just kind of doing it loosely. I love her hair. She's got kind of a bun going on and like a ribbon in her hair. So I'm just being really, really loose with that. And again, as you color things in, it just makes all the difference. And she's got a coffee cup too. So we see a bit of her shoulder here. I hope you guys can see this, yeah. We see her shoulder and then a circle for that top of the coffee cup. Now, hands are always going to be a challenge. So all I'm going to do is this particular hand too, she's got like, I'm really going to try to draw the angle of it without actually, I'm going to give the illusion of a hand. And her thumb is kind of there. And then she's got like a watch on, but I'm going to make that a bracelet. And then we'll put her sleeve like that, and her other hand is just kind of down. Now, once you get your image, I'm going to move in a little closer. Okay, bring this down a bit. Okay. I'm going to scan this so that you guys have a copy of it and that I can email it to you and you can trace it before we begin to color. Okay, so now we have the drawing sort of mapped out. We can color it any way we want. Now, I personally don't mind all these scratchy lines in my artwork, and I could actually just color this in, and I think I might use some gouache for this and then go from there. So I'm just grabbing something to put on the paper, and that's what I'm doing here. And again, a little bit messy, but that's okay. And this is just the first layer, so it really is not, it doesn't matter how much you cover, because you know you're going to add more, whether it's markers or colored pencils. And I like the way gouache layers, so that's why I'm not too concerned when I add this on there. And I'm using sketch paper, so I don't want to use too much water. And she has like her messy bun in, enjoying her coffee. And I think the second girl, I'm going to give her black hair. And I'm just using a black and a navy blue instead of just making it all, I like it to have some depth to it. And we'll get her hair in. I think she's, let me just have, It's nice to have a reference photo, and these photos are just a nice to sort of give you an idea of how it looks when you're coloring it in. And so this woman has like, I'm using gouache, but it's a dry gouache that I'm wetting to activate. So that's why it's easier to use on the paper than if you were using a wet gouache. I just tap a little bit of water in it. Okay. I like the way she looks. And we've got this lady, and this lady has, I think, blonde hair. I think I'm going to put a purple dress on this one. I know in the picture she's wearing a green dress, but I'm going to do purple because I want to put some greenery around them. So that's all I'm doing there. I like the way she looks. I forgot to color in her legs. And then this woman has a yellow shirt on, but I'm spicing things up today. What color should we put on her? Well, I'm going to put a pink sweater on this woman just because I feel like she needs pink. So I'm grabbing some pink. And I think there's something to be said for just messy painting and drawing. I really like the feel and the look of it. So I feel like she looks good. And what color do we want to put for that lady? I like the way these colors complement each other. She's got like a dress on. I might put a black dress on her to bring this color down here. And you can tell, even though my ladies aren't all the same size, your colors can complement and sort of bring it together. There, I like the way that looks. And I'm just trying to add a bit more of the paint to sort of bring it together. So far, so good. I'm not sure what I want to do next. I think I want to add color to their cheeks. But I think I want to darken her hair up a bit. So maybe I'll do that first. I'm just trying to find a nice brush. I'm just going to lighten up her hair a bit. And add some to her hair as well. And I'm going to add her cheek color, and then we're going to see what else we can do to bring this picture out. And you can see on the side of the page, I'm testing my colors a lot just to see if they'll work before I add them. And I kind of like that, and I like maybe adding a little bit. And we're going to color in her coffee cup in a second. I'm going to color in the cup with maybe some blue. So I'm just going to put that there. And then I'm going to get a smaller brush and add maybe some blue swirls. One of those kind of old, or maybe like some dots. I don't know, we'll make it look like it's one of those old fashion coffee cups. Okay, like the way that looks. I do want to add her lip color in. And maybe a little cheek color for her and for her. Oh, we didn't do her coffee cup either. I think I'll make hers match hers. Actually, maybe she'll have like a blue one. Maybe once it dries, we can add some detail to it. I'm not sure. We'll have to add some shading to that. And I'm just adding some detail. This lady's going to have a dress on, so jewelry, so we're going to add some jewelry to her. But you can see how you start out with just a sketch and you go from there. Now I have this marker and I think I'm going to try to update this woman's eyes here. Actually, this marker's kind of neat. It has two sides to it. Hopefully this will work. Sometimes I have to look directly at it to make sure I get it right. And if you make a mistake, don't worry about it. I want her glasses to be a little more contrasting and make them a little larger, so that's what I'm doing there. And I want to bring in that jewelry again. So far, I really like the way this looks, and I'm kind of thinking I can add some oil pastels because this is a sketchbook. And now that I've added the gouache, which is wet, I think if I keep adding more gouache, this paper's going to turn into mush. So now what I'll do is I'm going to wait for it to dry, and then I'm going to add some oil pastel on top of it to sort of make it pop even more. Okay, so it has dried a bit. And I'm not going to go too crazy with covering the whole thing with oil pastels. I think I'm just going to try to add just some detail to it, and I'm trying to match this color. The thing about oil pastels is sometimes they get dirt on it, and you have to get that dirt off before you continue on. So now I think I'm just going to try to add a little bit of shadow there. I don't really want to color the whole thing in. I just want to create a little texture to this artwork. And I'm adding whatever colors I think will work in this scenario. I don't know. I like that the way it is. I think I'm going to leave that one the way it is. And then maybe, let's see, a little royal blue for this woman. It's a little dark, but maybe we'll just I really like playing with different textures. Now I'm leaving this part up here blank because I want to put some paint on there, some gold paint, and you can't really paint over the oil pastel. And now I might add a little, bring her up a bit. Because I added this blue, I might want to just add a little shadow here at the bottom of her cup. And maybe there. I do want to add some lightness to her face. There would be shadow there, so we'll see what I'm going to do here. Sometimes you just see what you can do. That's all I'm doing here. And this woman. I kind of wanted to get her eye in a bit. And then her eyebrows. I also wanted to maybe this side of it. Okay. Once you start adding details, it just goes from there, and you just play around to see what you like and what you don't like. Now I'm getting a bit of black, and I want to add not too much, but a little bit there. And maybe a little pink to her dress or her shirt. I'm not really thinking about anything. I'm just kind of having fun. I'm worried about that. Should I add pink to that? Oh, no, I'm going to try. See what it does. I like the softness that adds to this particular side profile, so I might do it for this lady too, and for this woman. I would like to add a little gray to her eyelid. Trying to do a little shadow, and I don't know if I'm ruining it or not, but honestly, if we're not playing around and seeing what we can do, if you're not willing to ruin it in a way, then it's kind of hard to improve. Same with her hands here. I know I've messed the hand up a bit. I mean, I really liked the way the hand looked. Kind of like that. And then she's got shadow too, like under her chin, under her eye. I don't want to do too much. And she should have maybe a little bit of lighter or darker. So I'm going to try a little bit of a darker oil pastel. I'm just trying to create some shadow where I think shadow would be with this woman, and usually it's along the hairline. but I notice how dark this is, so I might get a lighter color and just play with that. And obviously I didn't put her lips in, so we're gonna wanna do that as well. And her hand kind of comes up here and her thumb. So I'm just giving the illusion of her hand. A lot of this is just playing around and seeing what you can do. And that's why I use sketch paper. I use sketch paper, so if I mess it up, it doesn't matter because I didn't really ruin any paper. Whoops, I'm just using sketch paper. And so I'm feeling like she needs a little more. Like that, and then I'm wondering if I should give her some red lips. I'm worried that it's going to ruin it, but I feel like she needs some color there. I like her. I really like, I know I don't have the shading exactly right, but I really am liking the way this one's turning out. This looks like a And so now I'm just kind of like, oh, let's add a bit of a darker pink here and see what that does. And do I have another pink. It's not quite the shade, but I just put a little bit there and see what happens. Probably not the right place for that. I want her to have steam coming out of her coffee cup too. So and that might be too much steam, but that's what I want. And maybe I'll add a little white to that to sort of try to soften that color so it's not so jarring. And I probably didn't do this steam right, but I still really like my picture. I'm really liking how this is evolving. There's something about the way these oil pastels blend that I just love. I think she needs a darker color there. Makes her look a little, I really like that. Okay. I'm probably gonna stop here. I really feel super happy with how this turned out. I wonder, I know I said I'm gonna stop here, but kind of looking at her hair a little bit. And then the blonde lady. I don't know, that might be too, but let's see. Make her hair a little longer. And I think what I'm going to do is maybe add some gold for her jewelry and see what happens. I kind of left some areas blank where I could put some gold marker or gold, I've got a gold Artex marker. And so I left some areas that I did not cover with oil pastels. So it allows me, I probably put oil pastel on there, didn't I? Oh no, I think that was marker. I wanted to make her glasses a little, and we'll put jewelry on her hands, her arms. So much fun. Okay, I'm going to put jewelry on her ears, like she'll have earrings on. And maybe she'll have a ring on too. Put a ring on her. And She's going to have jewelry on as well. I can't put earring on this woman again because I put oil pastels on her. And again, wherever you put oil pastels, you cannot really add acrylic marker. You can add oil pastels over acrylic, but you can't really add acrylic over oil. It's just the way that it's made. It won't let it dry. Oil pastels, you have to spray them anyway because they won't dry. But I really love the way that looked. I'm going to give a close-up of this. Hope you enjoyed it. I'd love to hear from you guys how it went. And if you are looking for any type of specific video in the future, please let me know. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you all next Friday. Happy sketching.